Hello, my name is Bruyn. This is my SWEN325 assignment 2. Okay, let's begin. Okay, I want to start off by talking about how to set up my development environment. So, to start off with, you need to install Node.js or an npm. And after doing so, you can run these 4 commands that I've listed here. Oops. So the first one, npm install global yarn. Show this up. Is the yarn log file defines dependencies in my application. Then I need to install Expo CLI. The Expo command line interface is what I use to develop my app in. Afterwards, after I have yarn installed, I can run yarn install, which will download all the dependencies in my package.json file. So after doing so, I'll construct a node modules folder with all dependency files inside. I can then run my app with expo start or npm run web. Okay. I want to next talk about my app organization. So I use a MVC architecture, which is a model view controller architecture. I laid out my folders to correspond to each layer in the architecture. So the assets folder contains view components. So I have images like ingredients images, like let's say brown sugar, and also recipe images like chocolate chip cookies. I have my components as well. This is also part of the view layer. So these are front-end components that is rendered to my application, such as this add input here. I have config. This does not conform to any of the layers particularly, but these just have useful constants that I use throughout my app, such as these colors. I have the persistence folder. This is the model layer for my application. These contain functions that retrieve and push data to either a database or an API. I have my screens folder. This just contains my screens, which act as the controller layer, but also render front-end components. So this also renders the view layer as well. And I have my utilities folder. This just contains utilities functions. So this either formats data that is currently retrieved from the database, or it filters and applies searches and so on to the data. So this is acting as a controller layer folder as well. To demonstrate a little bit more into why my screens act as a controller layer, I want to show an example. So this grocery screen here contains, let's say, a save button here. This save button calls a save handler when the button is pushed. All these handlers act as controller layer functions. So I have a press handler, submit, save, clear. These controller layer functions call either functions in the model layer, so i.e. saving groceries, or it applies filters and alters the data that's sent back to the view, so directly affecting the view layer. I next wanted to go over how to run my app. I can run that command as so, as specified earlier, but I could also run expo start. So this does take a little bit. So I can use this time to talk about my app, which is a recipe providing app based on ingredients missing. Well, ingredients the user has in their pantry. I also have other functions like a grocery list and a meal planner, which you'll see now. So just to show that this is a mobile app, I'm gonna run it like this. Yep. I'm gonna show you that the login doesn't work when I input 123 123 because I have not signed up yet. So I can click sign up, go to my sign up page, and I can log in now. So now I'm greeted with the ingredients page. These you can choose ingredients that they have in their pantry. So I'm just going to, I'm going to first show you that there's no recipes that I've loaded right now because I have no ingredients selected. But I can select, let's say, I'll actually demonstrate the search bar first. So I can type A in. This pulls up anchovy fillets. The text filter doesn't have to be in the start of the word, but it can be in the middle of the word, like oregano. I'm going to select all the essentials, save that, and these sweet ingredients. There you go. So now I'll see all the sweet recipes that I can cook with. And if I tap on one of these, I'm greeted with a page that has all the information about a certain recipe. Also have a slideshow to show off some more images. I can press this back button to go back. I have a meal planner page where the user can input calories, and this generates 3 meals up to the calorie specified. These buttons also take you to the recipe page that the API that I used to scrape recipes from. I have a grocery list page as well, so I can type in chocolate. There's a bunch, becomes a view, and I can tap on these to delete them, or I can press clear to get rid of them entirely. Now to show that these work, I'm just going to click on one of these. And it brings you to this recipe page that this got this from. As so. I'm going to show off, oops. I'm going to first log into a pre-existing user that I've already made. So I'm just going to log into this one. This has all the ingredients selected, and recipes that I didn't have before are now showing up. Oh, I forgot to demonstrate the search bar on this works as well. So I can type choc, and it shows chocolate chip cookies and chocolate cake. I can also select categories, so pescatarian, tuna casserole, vegetarian, these 3 here. And my grocery list is also saved. So each user has their own selected ingredients and groceries that return whenever they return back to the application. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the front-end components of my application. So I have around 20, but some of these are nested components, such as this add input. So I have a text input and a button. This is used primarily in the grocery list here. I have these fab buttons, back fab, clear fab, save fab, and these are basically these floating action buttons here. So that one clears, the save button saves, which save this up here, and the back button I can press back here. I have these filters which filter data. I've already just showed off. I can show you the code. I have a nav bar. This just has a tab navigator, which navigates to different screens, so I can demonstrate here. And I have meal components, so I render different sections with different boxes in their own components. So I have this one here. So there you can see there's 3 meal components here. I also split off some titles and text input areas for the login and sign up pages into their own ones as well. Yep, I'll just open up some of these to show you. So this grocery list item. All touchable opacity things I can tap, and a calls function. Image slideshow I defined myself, so it picks a current state for the image and then it retrieves images based off that, and so on. I don't think I have enough time to go over all of these. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, and yep, have a great day.